Hi again, this is Michelle from Boho Crafty Chica coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. I'm thrilled to be presenting to you my next series of Faux Ledger Journals. I made these a little bit differently, and the companion journals that come with these are all named Rosie because they're little. And these actually were a mistake. I had printed landscape instead of portrait, and I ended up with these little ones. And so I think they're just incredibly adorable. And each journal comes with its little Rosie. And let me just give you a quick tour. We'll start with Violet. So they all have this charm, silhouette charm, that I've had for a long time and never knew what I was going to do with it. And I think it makes a great little, I guess, clasp or holder for the ribbon. All the ribbons have been hand dyed by Sheila at Boho Daydreams, and they're beautiful. I love them. Again, these gorgeous buttons come from an Etsy shop called Mary Not Martha, and I just love all of her buttons. So let's go on with Violet. I made little pockets on the side out of vintage linens or hankies, whatever I could get my hands on. And I made tags also this time around. Had a lot of fun. I used, for these ones, I used RubyandPearlXO. She has this really cute digi of old photos, and I just, oh my gosh, I think they're darling. All the journals come with ledger, vintage ledger. This one's from 1931. They're all different dates. Just showing you the pockets that I made. This is traditional parchment paper. And this is handmade paper out of leaves and natural elements. I used, again, pages from the Victorian Needlework book. Here's another tag. This, I used, the tag thing is actually one of RubyandPearlXO's digis, and I printed it on fabric. And I love the way it turned out, and I decided to use them. I don't have a date for this wonderful letter, but the writing, I decided to make it the center page so you could really appreciate this writing. The beads on the ties, the binding ties, I've got beads and pearls, and this is little clusters that I sew with the edge of tiny pieces that get left out, and I just gather them and make snippet ribbons, I guess. I obviously am a huge fan of Rachel from Roxy Creations, and I don't know, I love all of her digis, especially the collage ones. This is a fold out. It's an envelope that I altered, and we've got a letter in here. I don't know if it has a date. "1838. Isn't this writing amazing? The art of writing has just been replaced by texting, but I still make my kid write by hand as much as possible. And this is linen that I sewed on the edge for a pocket, and a textile card, which is totally cute. So that's Violet, and this is her little companion, Rosie. I put little tags in these ones too. This one is a button one. This is authentic vintage papers that you're going to see in here. That's the center. There's the little beads. I just love this. I don't know what it's called. It's netting with polka dots? I don't know. Anyhow, so there we've got Violet. Now let's take a look at Heather. So this one has linen cover. I'm going to open it up so you could actually see the book. So I loved what Rachel did when she put like a kind of a backing onto hers. I love the look, everything about it, and I was inspired to try it. So I made 3 in this kind of style. Again, another pocket. Gorgeous. $19.25 and $19.31 on this. The music paper is also vintage. I think it's from the 20s. Here's a tag. I tried to make some long tags so that they can be appreciated. A lot of textile. I'm a touchy-feely kind of person, so I love textures, layers, mixed media. There you go. That's the beauty of Ruby and Pearl XO. Some Italian Florentine paper. This is rag paper. This is really old book pages, definitely from the 1800s. We've got an Edith Holden for the center page. These are the binding buttons. This check is from 1925. And let's see what we have here. So this is just an envelope that I altered, and this is an old doll pattern, and I slipped in a little page from Kate Greenaway's The Language of Flowers, which I love. There we go. Thank you, hand. Let's see. A tag. And another tag, long tag. And we'll look at her little Rosie companion too. So I made them the same. They have linen, vintage linen, embroidered linen. I tried to put tags where I could fit them in. Centered it with a Roseanne Roxycreation page. This is on vellum. Comes out gorgeous. Some vintage lace. Another tag. This one is Roseanne and her companion. Roseanne is one of the more thicker ones. Her doily that I've sewn on here is a sheer doily that's embroidered, and then she has some vintage buttons. Let's open the center. So Edith Holden. I'll just kind of go backwards here. I love this tag because I made it out of Ruby and Pearl's, one of her recent digis, and I printed it on fabric. Love the way it turned out. This is Roxycreation Digi, her tag, one of her recent tag ones. And then a long tag from the Victorian Needlework. So we'll look at her companion book. If my fingers look like they're dirty, they are. I'm glue. Lots of glue. None of the buttons are glued on. They're all stitched. I love buttons so much that I refuse to glue them. There are the buttons I used for the tag, for the binding. I'll try to find the center of this one. This is from an old book, a skinny tag. So that's Roseanne. And then the last one, her name is Jasmine. She is printed on fabric. What I used was this fabric paper. It's backed with like a kind of a sticky backing, and you just run it through the printer, and then it just peels off. I'm gonna actually peel this off so you can see. Peels off. Now I would save this because it has a nice sticky texture, and you could just put your own fabric on this and run it through. Pretty nice. And so that's what it ends up looking like. Isn't it great? So that's what I used for this. And I backed it with hemp fabric. She has a lovely set of buttons. Beautiful tags. I've been making a lot of tags recently, so I decided to put more tags in these journals. Awkward size, so it's kind of a challenge. Beautiful Edith Holden page for the center. Italian Florentine. A flip envelope with a tag. This is an old hanky. Yeah. And then her companion journal also has vintage buttons. I don't know if you could really see, but there's pearls there. So that's it. This time the good news is that none of these are spoken for, and if you are interested, you could reach me through Instagram, through the message feature, or through Messenger, and the info will be down below. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.